Hi guys, so my name is Christian and today I'm gonna share with you what I've learned in LearnWeb3DAO and Cyberconnect space last night on the topic of how to land your first Web3 job. And in order to make this easy or easier for us, I divided it into three categories, which is what you have to learn, what you have to take action on, and what you have to remember. Okay, those are the three categories. For the first one, it's really simple. What you have to learn, and that is of course learn Web3. What exactly are you going to apply for in Web3? Is that front-end development? Is that community management? Or is that smart contract development, or whatever role it is that you want to apply for? And of course, also learn Web3. What's Web3? What roles are there in Web3? What's the purpose of Web3, right? So learn that. Next is learn technical skills. So these technical skills are very important because it could help you beyond just doing what you're working with or what your role is, right? It allows you to participate in discussions when it comes to meetings and meetups. And once again, this is all based on the things that I've learned in LW3 and Cyberconnect space last night. And I'm just sharing this with you guys because I find it very insightful and very helpful. Next is the things that you have to take action on. And that is, first things first, you must generate evidence. Okay? So what is evidence? You must generate evidence of your skills or your core competencies in your role. So let's say if you're applying for a dev job in the Web3 space, then you gotta generate evidence like a website portfolio. Okay? And if you're wondering what you can put in your website portfolio, they recommend that you can contribute to open source projects via PRs. And if those PRs get accepted, then you can cite it in your portfolio. Now you can say that you're a contributor. Or you can make projects like this. Okay, make projects and put it in your website portfolio. And the host last night recommended that you can use the sophomore track projects in LearnWeb3DAO and put them in your project portfolio. Okay. So besides generating evidence, another thing you can take action on is to network. It's very important to network in the Web3 space. Okay? And one of the ways you can do that is to join hackathons and show your skills. The host last night recommended that joining hackathons and showing your skills could actually leverage you into a position earlier than others because technically they now see your skills. They now see what you're capable of or how you think, and you can potentially be offered an internship position for the company, right? So join hackathons and show your skills. Next is to join Web3 events. I believe this is self-explanatory because by joining Web3 events, you get to interact, you get to introduce yourself, you get to make them familiar with your presence in the Web3 space, right? So it's important that you network by joining Web3 events. Next is you have to participate in communities. You have to. Because when you participate with communities, the host last night said that, you know what, knowing someone could increase the odds of you getting hired. You know, because by someone knowing you, they would most likely recommend you first before finding someone else, right? So this is really useful. Keep that in mind. And the next question is, where are you going to participate in communities? And they recommend that Discord communities are, very abundant in the Web3 space. And Twitter, there's a lot of Web3 people in Twitter, and I think Y'all can see that once you get into Twitter and network. And lastly, are things you have to remember when you are working in Web3 or want to work in Web3. These are just general wisdom that I picked up on while while I was listening in the space last night. And some of the things that I've learned is that, yes, Web3 can be about smart contracts, right? But it's not entirely just about smart contracts. Yes, there is a change in the source of truth, which is the blockchain, but back-end skills, front-end skills, they are still relevant, so don't neglect them if you want to be, well-rounded. Okay, so, or if you're a back-end developer, there are still transferable skills, so don't you worry. So remember that. Next thing is imposter syndrome. It came into question, like, how do you overcome imposter syndrome when you're working or when you want to land a job in the Web3 space? And they said that even they who are already working in the Web3 space still have this imposter syndrome. So it's definitely okay not to know everything, right? So it's okay if you're not, if you don't know, you have knowledge gaps, it's totally fine because you're still able to learn, right? And another one is that Web3 looks beyond the technology. Okay, it's not just about your tech stack. Web3 is also about community, purpose, and some other things. So it's best to have a community, be with a community, or have communities in your mind, have a purpose, see the purpose of Web3 and participate, and things like that. Next is, if you gotta remember that Web3 moves fast. It's fast. There's a lot of innovations, a lot of building, a lot of different things in space. So you have to be open to learning. You have to be. So it's totally okay not to know everything, but you have to be open to learning. Second is that there is this thing called limited amount of time, because not everyone has 24 or a lot of time to invest into Web3. So they recommend that if you are one of those who has a limited amount of time to invest, then focus on the thing that resonates with you the most, the thing that you would want to do. Just focus on that. Okay? And lastly, which is very impactful to know, is that while Web3 moves fast, it generates a huge FOMO, fear of missing out. And what you have to remember is that they mentioned, the host last night really said it very well, that Web3 is not leaving anytime soon. No rush. Okay? There is no rush. You can take your time. You can focus on your path. Because rushing yourself will only generate so much stress and anxiety. So, no rush. Take your time. And that's it for this mind map that I've made. And I hope that I provided, or at least carried, the value that I've received last night with you guys. And the people who made this happen, they are the true manifestations of WAGMI. So shout out to y'all, and thanks for the space last night. That's all, guys. Peace.